was trying to get my boyfriend to fall in love with me. I wanted him to want me. I wanted him to not leave me being pregnant. I just was told that I can make him fall in love with me doing witchcraft. That was my motive the whole time. After having my daughter, I was working for the government. I got married. I was a military wife. Then I got into law enforcement. I was doing so great. I was married, had a child, now I'm pregnant with another child. And I just thought my life was just great. And like I said, I still hadn't went to God about this witchcraft things. And the whole time I was pregnant with my son, I was dabbing in it. Because like I said, I wanted his father to fall deeply in love with me. I didn't want him to go out there and mess with no other girl or nothing like that. So I believed that in witchcraft I could do it. So I had a son, and when he was born, I was in the hospital and I looked down at him and I fell asleep with him in my arms. And while I was asleep, I was dreaming about a voodoo dancing. It was voodoos and they were dancing, doing voodoo dance. And the man in the middle was the voodoo dancer, and there's people around him, they dancing with him. And it was a death dance that they were doing. So when I woke up, I looked at my son and I said, well, you're not gonna die because you were just born. So it's gonna be somebody that I know. An older person leaves so a new person can come to earth. That's how I thought. I was able to take my son home and, raise him a child. He cried a lot. I thought it was because he was just spoiled. I never could put him down. I had to hold him all the time. And I had to go to work. I was tired, but I was still, gonna do this. So one day I come home from work. It was 12 midnight. I picked my son up. I left my daughter. We go home, and I put my son in his bed to be with his father. I heard my son trying to get relaxed, I guess. He was like squinching around and just trying to get comfortable. And then I heard him go, and I said, well, he's finally asleep now. When I woke up that morning, I looked at the clock. It was 10:38. I put my feet on the floor and I began to say, no, no. I felt death as soon as I put my feet on the floor. I looked over at him in the bed and I started calling his name. And he didn't move around like he would do. And I knew that he was gone. And when I went to pick him up, his head fell back in my arm, and his mouth was purple. I dropped him back in the bed, and I started screaming. I didn't want to do anything because I was afraid